The gentleman from California rise. Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, last week, members of the Safe Climate Caucus challenged the Republicans who are on the Energy and Commerce Committee to come to the floor and debate with us and talk about the problems of climate change. We wrote them a letter. We haven't even gotten a reply. There seems to be a conspiracy of silence in the House of Representatives about the dangers of climate change, and it's time for a real debate on the House floor. Every day, members of the Safe Climate Caucus have come to this floor to give speeches on topics relating to climate change, including the importance of preparing communities to mitigate the impacts of extreme weather events, potential for clean energy technologies, and the threats of rising temperatures across the country. In contrast, we are not aware of any Republican member who has spoken on the House floor about the dangers of climate change, and the Committee of Jurisdiction is not even willing to hold a hearing to hear what the scientists and experts have to say about the issue. I have a message to House Republicans. You can't make climate change go away by ignoring the problem.
Gentleman's time has expired. Purpose. Does the gentlewoman from California seek recognition? Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, earlier today, the Energy and Commerce Committee passed, for the third time in 2 years, a bill to force approval of the Keystone XL pipeline. I voted against the bill for many reasons, but chief among them is the fact that it doubles down on a dead-end, oil-based energy policy that is hurting our economy, hurting our environment, and our health. Burning fossil fuels is a primary cause of climate change, and we simply can't afford to continue down this destructive path. It makes far more sense to focus on developing the clean, renewable energy technologies that we all know we're going to need down the road. Developing these technologies will create quality, long-term jobs that can't be shipped overseas. It's good for business. It's good for our planet. It's good for our national security. There's no reason why we can't put aside our differences and take action to promote a clean energy future. It's what our constituents sent us here to do. Our window of opportunity is rapidly closing. The time to act is now, and I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields back. For what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I rise to cite the fact that the American people and Democrats and scientists agree that climate change is a danger to us all, but where are the Republicans? A week ago, I joined my colleagues in the Safe Climate Caucus to challenge the Republican members of the Energy and Commerce Committee to debate the nation's response to climate change on the House floor. We received no response. It's time for a real debate on the House floor about the dangers of climate change. We're already seeing the powerful forces and effects of nature. We are witnessing the predictions of our premier scientists come true, and they are alarming. We've seen catastrophic storms, record heat waves, droughts, and wildfires. Top scientists in the U.S. and around the world tell us that impacts like these will get even worse as climate change continues. There's no debate about the science of climate change. Mr. Speaker, it's time, or Madam Speaker, it's time for a debate on how to solve climate change. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. What purpose does a gentleman from New York seek recognition?
Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute and revise and extend.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is time for a real debate on climate change, right here on the House floor. The members of the Safe Climate Caucus come to the floor to talk about this critical issue every day that the House is in session. But where are our Republican colleagues? Last week, we challenged the Republican members of the Energy and Commerce Committee to a debate about the appropriate policy response to the threats of climate change. But we've heard nothing from the Republicans. The House Republican leadership should schedule that debate right away. This problem is not going away. The longer we delay, the greater the risks. The Energy and Commerce Committee has refused to act or to even hear the latest science. Congressman Waxman and Congressman Rush have sent over 20 letters requesting hearings with scientists and other experts about important developments in climate science. But the Republicans have refused to hold any hearings on climate change. The American public is entitled to an explanation for this disappointing record of inaction. Madam Speaker, we need to get serious about tackling climate change. That means having a debate about what actions should be taken. That debate is long overdue, and my friends, time is running out. With that, I return the balance of time.
Gentleman yields back.